Welcome. My name is Maria Yelm. I am Assistant Dean in the Division of Mathematical and Physical Sciences. I work with Bill Chu and Stephen Kwan, who are part of Hearts to Humanity Eternal. I'm really excited to enter into the third year of this program. It keeps getting better and better. So for starters, I'm going to have Dean Steve Kahn introduce the program and talk a little bit about it, and then we'll have some students speak to it, and then Bill, and then your questions. And if you have questions during it, I'm looking at the chat, and I know our students are looking at the chat. We'll try to answer them. Or we'll get to them, afterwards. So welcome and thank you for coming. Take it on. Take it over, Steve.
So thanks, Maria, and thanks to all of you for coming. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Steve Kahn. I'm the Dean of Mathematical and Physical Sciences here at Berkeley. I started in that position in June, and it's been my pleasure to help to steward this program within the university. As Maria mentioned, this will be the third year for Hearts to Humanity Eternal. It's been growing. The interest the word is getting out more to students like yourselves, both in MPS and in engineering departments. And that's wonderful because the program is designed to engage our students, to help our students, and to encourage a community of scientists that work together. I've spent some time personally with Bill Chu, who's here, the program's director, and with Stephen Kwan and other members of the board of directors. And I've really been impressed by the desire and the dedication that this organization shows to support students in science who have the potential to make a difference in the world. As it says on their website, if you've had a chance to look at it, the H2H8 community believes that it is through the advancement of science that we not only create purpose and meaning, but advance humanity towards a better future. And I'm sure that's a thought or a concept that hopefully all of us can ascribe to. So as I mentioned, I have a great appreciation for the work that they're doing and for their interactions with our students in a wide range of fields. And I hope that you can learn something about this program today and will then be induced to apply and hopefully be awarded a grant for this program. So with that brief introduction, let me start by introducing our first speaker. We have two students currently at Berkeley who were research grant recipients through this program. The first is Emma Turtleboom, who's a graduate student in astronomy. And I'm going to let Emma take it on now here and speak to her experiences.
Hi, everyone. As Steve said, I am Emma Turtleboom. I'm a fourth year graduate student in the astronomy department here at Berkeley. And I was a research grant recipient from H2H8 this year. I've had a really wonderful experience being a part of the H2H8 community. The stipend that I've received from H2H8 is supporting partially my travel to an international conference this summer, which I'm really looking forward to, and is really meaningful for my kind of growth as a grad student and an academic, and is helping support my kind of long-term career goals to move back to Europe where my family is. And international conferences are expensive, so this is a really wonderful way for me to be able to kind of work towards my long-term career goals. I've also really enjoyed being a part of the H2H8 kind of cohort community. I feel like as a grad student, we often, at least I have felt quite kind of isolated in my department. I know a lot of astronomy grad students, but I actually didn't know all that many grad students in the wider Berkeley community. And so the weekly H2H8 lunches where I've gotten to meet folks from all across MPS and engineering have been really great. I enjoy being part of a community with other people who, clearly are not just interested in the day-to-day realities of research and getting a PhD, but also thinking about these big picture science questions together. So all in all, I've really had a wonderful experience with H2H8 and encourage you all to apply.
Great, thanks, Emma. Now let's hear from the other student we have with us, who is a grant recipient. That's Daniel Lim from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. So take it away, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction, Professor. And hello, my name is Daniel Lim. I'm a fourth-year PhD student in Mechanical Engineering Department. And yeah, I'd like to introduce briefly about my experience as a H2H8 cohort. So I'll talk about like a brief timeline, what I went through actually I was in your shoes in February last year, and where I attended an info session and I also applied. So after applying, you go through a brief interview with directors of H2H8, and there will be an official welcome luncheon. So that is something I'm going to share in the next slide, but it's like basically all of the cohort members, around 80 to 100 people, just gather in iHouse, and then we have lunch, we introduce each other, and then listen to the introduction of the program. So, and also there's a weekly luncheon, like casual meetings that, all the grad students just gather around. It's definitely optional. So yeah, it's a great way to meet people. And those two slides are the exact example of the slides that I prepared for the introduction while I was doing the interview. So yeah, my research proposal is basically about reducing the drag using the shark mimicking structure. But I'm not going into detail, but it's more about like relating your research to how it's going to help the humanity, for example, as a larger goods. And this is the example video of how the luncheon was like in 2022. It was October, and all the students just gather around, listen to the introduction of the program and how it's structured. And the picture on the right, what you see is a luncheon every week that all of us just gather around in the faculty club, and all the lunch is compensated, reimbursed. So, which is great because we get free lunch as a grad students. So that's a huge plus for us. And yeah, I would say I want to wrap up with like 3 benefits from becoming a H2H8 cohort is that you get 10,000 research grant, which is huge. And also you get to meet a lot of people from different departments, which you usually don't have as a PhD student. You usually hang around with the people from your own department, but you get to know people from outside and then learn from others about different research area. And the last part that I want to mention is the mentors that you meet through the program. So you will get a lot of good advice from people who has done like at least 5 years or even 20 years ahead of you, and then give some practical advice that you will need to pursue your career. So yeah, that was my wrap up. And if you have more questions, please email to my email account that you see here. And yeah, that was it from the introduction.
Okay, thanks, Daniel, very much. And let me now turn it over to Bill. Do you want to say a few words about the program?
Okay, thank you, Dean Khan. H2H8 Association is a nonprofit organization. We want to build a lasting community of scientists and engineers who cares about humanity. And so as a research grant recipient, you'll be invited to join our Pioneer Club. Our community provides a network of researchers, as you heard, from across a wide range of disciplines. So you will learn from each other and build hopefully lasting friendship. We have a wide range of activities. We have interest groups for different disciplines. We are building a mentoring group for undergraduates. Daniel is involved in helping to build a YouTube channel. So we have a lot of activities other than also social activities. So we hope to enrich your social and academic experience at Berkeley. And, to me, finding like-minded friends is more valuable than our research grant. So I think this is a good opportunity for that. So we look for applicants who care to participate and to contribute to our community. So, those who would like to help future UC Berkeley researchers, of course, when you're able to. So we would like you to feel like this is an opportunity to join a lifetime community for the future. And that maybe you will find purpose through our community. Our research grant deadline is February the 28th. So do apply soon. Thank you. If you have any questions, I guess some of us can answer that.
Great, thanks, Bill. And Maria, you or Ashley, we're going to show the website now and just.
Yeah, I was going to talk about some of the specifics of the program and direct you as to where to go. The website, you may have already seen that, www.h2h8.com, and specifically where to find the application process and specifics on the grants. I think Ashley's going to share it shortly, but I do want to draw your attention to some of the facts about the grants, because you might have questions about that, although I think the website does a pretty great job of answering it. So I don't know who all is here, probably mostly graduate students, but there are grants that you can apply for both undergraduate and graduate. In the undergraduate world, it's a $3,500 grant, but for the graduate students, it's been, as Daniel said, $10,000, though specifically that $10,000 divides up as a portion for your PI, hopefully to support your work in his or her lab, or his or her group, and then a portion that is an award directly to you. And so this year, sorry, I'm also admitting people. This year, that $10,000 award is being divided a little differently than in previous years. And I would say a huge thanks to Bill and Terrence for this. The award directly to you has been increased to $5,000, and then it would be $5,000 to your PI. But you know what I want to draw your attention to? I mean, I think Bill's kind of right that while the money always seems is important, I think what's on offer here is an incredible opportunity to build a cohort of friends outside your specific field of research, but also friends who are interested in science and the importance of science. And the really wonderful thing that Bill and Stephen and Terrence and the H2H8 folks do is they make these lunches and gatherings possible. And I think that's where you start to build community. So I think this is a program that, I hope someday I can say that I was there at the very beginning. And it's now like flourishing, at Berkeley and maybe multiple campuses, and when you're super successful, you give back to it because it's about bringing people along. So I really encourage you, because I just think that the motives for this program are great, and the benefits to you could be really, really great. So I believe Ashley has put in the chat all the links you need. There are specific pages for the undergraduate write-up and another one for the graduate write-up. There's an FAQ on the website, and of course it's through the website that you make your application. Specifically, you do have to have a faculty sponsor for an application. That's extremely important. And a research idea. But besides that, are there please let us know if you have questions. Emma and Daniel are here, and I think they can speak to the, the experience and sort of what they've shown up for. And if there are any questions about the mechanics, I think we can all figure that out. So please raise your hand or put it in the chat. And then if not, or just keep them coming. And I don't know, is there anything else I can cover?
Ashley, maybe you can give us the screen of all the participants again. And yeah, if people can just use the raise hand feature, then we'll call on you and you can get your questions out.
I guess this means we've covered, like we've provided such good detail that there are no questions. I don't know. Nothing? Peter.
Hi, thanks for the details. I had a very general question, which is sort of contributing to humanity is something that I definitely aspire to do, but I guess I'm too young to really know what's best for optimizing towards that. How do you guys sort of evaluate projects based off of this metric? Thanks.
Maybe Bill, you want to take that?
Yeah, so first of all, we looking for your heart. I mean, if you care about humanity, you don't really need to know exactly what to do. When I was at your age, I didn't know what to do. But we want you to meet with other people who, who all care. I mean, one of our primary criteria for selecting applicants is that people care about humanity. So people care about it different ways, of course, through your science research. But in some sense, it's not just a one-time thing. Of course, at Berkeley, you're doing your research and it's helping humanity. And so that's important. But, you have a long life ahead of you. And actually, we wish that you have the willingness to maybe stay with the community over your lifetime to help it grow. And in fact, we wish one day some of you will replace us because we are in our senior years. We like this community to grow and be hopefully helping a lot more UC Berkeley graduate students or undergrads, so that we certainly, that's what we look for. We look for people who said, "Oh, even if I don't,
hey, how you doing?
Even if I don't have the financial means, I'm certainly willing to put in the time to help this organization grow. And if some of you become billionaires, of course, you can help us to grow." But we, it is something that is rare sometimes for people to truly care about humanity. So you would be among a very good group of cohorts, I think.
That's really great to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to add on to what Bill just said, is that before applying to H2H8, I mean, even as a researcher, we do care about like scientific outgrowth, like what we can learn from the research, but we do not care really much about like how this research or our attitude will impact on the humanity or just humankind overall. And just applying and then being in the cohort really gives you that awareness that we should care more and also think about how we can actually impact outside the research area. So that really gave me awareness, and also like talking about that with the cohorts really helps you not just succeeding in your career, but also succeeding as a human being. So
I see. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Any other questions?
This is Stephen. Can I add to it?
Sure.
So I think that for the prospective applicants, I think that the Peter's question was very good, and you when you look at the website, you should also look at the page that talks about the core value of H2H8. It's more than just advancing humanity. We also want to have a core value of advocating growth and then also no bias. So please take a look at that and try to understand what we're trying to accomplish. The core value is very important to us. Thank you.
Will do, will do. Thanks.
Are there any more questions? Well, we'll repeat that the deadline for the applications is February 28th. Right? That's correct, Bill, right?
Yes, yes.
And then I can just say a word what happens, because this is the confusing part. So when awards are made in the summer, and it is me who reaches out to all the students, and then we attempt to disperse the funds through your home departments. So that's how it happens. Sometimes there's some chasing involved, but I generally copy faculty, RAs, things like that, and that is how we get the funds to you. And so you would hear more about that in probably in June, end of June, July.
I have a question. In the application, I saw a field called citizenship. So I was wondering if the nationality plays a role and if international students are eligible to apply.
Yes, we have no bias on country or nationality, so anybody can apply.
Okay, thank you.
I will say, I think we've had this experience in the past that there are some issues. International funding is different. So I believe there's a cut that is taken off your award. Is it, I don't know, Daniel's shaking his head. Can you share what happened with your funding, Daniel?
Not really. I have a dual citizenship, so maybe I'm not appropriate to answer that question. But I
Okay.
do see some of the international students in the cohort, so I don't think there's a huge problem with that.
No, there's no problem in
Yeah.
getting it. No, but
Yeah, no problem in applying and getting the award. Yeah.
yeah, sometimes getting students the money is tricky.
Yes, it's harder for Maria to handle the mechanics of it. And,
Yeah, that's the back end part, but
yeah, you mostly will get the money in August, but we have students from, I would say at least 20 countries. So it's not isolated to US. Of course, we have a lot of US citizens, but Europe, South America, Asia, everywhere, Africa, everywhere.
Thank you.
anything else? Well, Steve, Bill, should we call it a day? We do have this.
Yes. I think
Well, yeah, I think if there are no other questions, we can end this session. Ashley put the various websites up. Hopefully you made notes of that if you were not already aware of them. Daniel gave his email address, and you can reach out to any of us if you want to follow up, and we'll make the appropriate connections and try to get answers to any questions that might emerge. But let me just close by saying we've been delighted with this program. We're very appreciative to Bill and Stephen and other members of the H2H8 community. You heard from some of the students that in general, the experience has been really positive for them. And we just want to make sure as Berkeley administrators that, this generosity exhibited by H2H8 is taken up by our students for the benefit of them and for the benefit of humanity, as Bill's talked about. So thanks very much for coming.
Thank you all.